Both aircraft, KLM Flight 4805, a Boeing 747, and a Pan Am Flight 1736, a Boeing 747 as well, had been diverted to Los Rodeos Airport on the Spanish island of Tenerife in the Canary Islands due to a bombing at the airport at their final destination, the neighboring island of the Canarian. Later, when flights to the Gran Canary resumed, the aircraft collided on the runway in Tenerife as the KLM Boeing 747 initiated a takeoff while the Pan Am aircraft was using the runway to taxi.
The Spanish Investigative Authority, Subsecretaría de Aviación Civil, found that the fundamental cause of the accident was that the KLM captain, number 1, took off without clearance, number 2, did not obey the stand-by for takeoff direction from the tower, number 3, did not interrupt takeoff on learning that the Pan Am aircraft was still on the runway, and number 4, in reply to the KLM flight engineer's query as to whether the Pan Am craft was already left the runway, the KLM captain replied emphatically in the affirmative. The investigation also believed that the KLM captain's decision to take off may have been influenced by reduced crew duty time limitations recently enacted by the Dutch government. The restrictions were inflexible and highly penalizing to the captain. If exceeded, with a total of 583 fatalities, the crash remains the deadliest accident in aviation history. All 248 passengers and crew aboard the KLM flight were killed. There were also 335 fatalities and 61 survivors on the Pan Am flight.
Possible cause. The investigation concluded that the fundamental cause of the accident was the Captain Belhuizen van Santen attempt to take off without clearance. The investigators suggest the reason for this was a desire to leave as soon as possible in order to comply with KLM's duty time regulations and before the weather deteriorated further. Other major factors contributing to the accident were the sudden fog greatly limited visibility. The control tower and the crews of both planes were unable to see one another. Interference from the simultaneous radio transmissions, with the result that it was difficult to hear the message. The accident was investigated by the Spain's Comisión de Investigación de Accidentes e Incidentes de Aviación Civil, CIAIAZ.
With a total of 583 fatalities, the crash remains the deadliest accident in aviation history. All the 248 passengers and crew aboard the KLM flight were killed. There were also 335 fatalities and 61 survivors on the Pan Am flight.